different time and a different era. And the main goal is for everyone to be safe, not only you guys, but the teachers, the staff, everybody that's a part of this learning community, so that we can all go back to our homes and keep them safe. So a large portion of this is going to depend on you guys as students to do your due diligence, that you're doing the things to make sure that we're all safe. And one of the biggest things that you see, not only here, but anywhere in society now, is making sure that you follow social distancing. In every possible facet of a school, you'll see some of the little arrows on the floor, and you'll see some of the markings on the floor, kind of advising you to stay 6 feet apart. Now, guys, this is high school, so we're not going to sit up and hold you by your hand, and do those type of things. You should be well aware of what's at stake and the dangers that, can present itself if we're not following safe distancing policies. So making sure that as much as possible in the hallways, the cafeteria, the buses, and things of that nature, the gathering areas, that you are practicing social distancing. Next slide, please. Next slide, Ms. Lane. All right. Now, I explained this to the freshmen last week. You guys are veterans. My 10th through 12th graders, you guys are veterans. But those of you who are new to the school, please be aware of the difference between tardy and absent. Now, a lot of you guys, by the grace of COVID last year, was able to get credits in that spring, regardless of you having attendance issues. But keep in mind that tardy policy, you have exactly about 5 minutes in between each class period to get to those classes, and that means that you're a tardy. However, anything after 10 minutes, you are late. There's no sense of debating that. You're late, you know that up front. So please make sure that you're starting out fresh, keeping up with your tardies and your absences and things of that nature. Now, we do know that we're, like I say, once again, we're living in difficult times. So if in an event that you're leaving and you're in between classes, you have to go to the restroom, especially my young ladies, because I know those restrooms fill up pretty fast, and especially with us practicing social distancing, just take your time. It's easy for us to get you in class than to have you go to class, get instruction started, and ask to leave, because we're not doing any traffic in the hallways during instructional day. Once again, that's to keep everybody safe. Next slide. Okay, if you notice, we're doing other things that we're doing differently is our entry and exit procedures. In the morning, those of you who get dropped off in the mornings, making sure that you're coming through that main exit, that main entrance, coming off of Langdon. So those of you who either get dropped off by parents who drive or who even walk to school, you're coming in through that main entrance, which is marked number 2 right there. Those of you who are bus riders, that you can look at arrow number 3, the buses will drop you off right there, and you'll be permitted to come in through those doors that leads into the C and G hallways. I know that some of you guys were dropped off there, and I know that you didn't know, but you walked around towards the front door. The bus will drop you off at arrow number 3, and those are the doors that you will come into, okay? Once you come in, you will see kiosks set up in certain parts of the hallway where you will get your breakfast and go straight to your advisory. All right, now, in the afternoon, we're doing things a whole lot different, okay? You remain in that class until you until you're actually called out. Now, what we'll usually do, what we did last week, and we'll continue this week, when we call out for the car riders, when you're called out to exit, you will exit out arrow number 1, which leads to the teacher parking lot. Once again, you will exit out of door number 1, going into that teacher's parking lot. That'll be car riders and walkers, okay? And those of you who drove, you'll still be permitted to go out of door number 2. All right, now my bus riders, if you ride a bus that takes you to either Wilmer or Hutchins, you will come out door number 2. Once again, that's the door leading to the student parking lot. That's just Wilmer and Hutchins bus riders only. Those of you who ride any other bus besides Wilmer and Hutchins, you will exit right once again out of that same door you came in, which is door number 3. Now, mind you, you're not going to have kids walking out in the hallway. So if we call for those car riders and those walkers, and you know that you ride a bus, if you come out of that classroom, you will be exiting out of that car rider's door. Once again, that's not to be rude, it's not to be mean, but that's just making sure that we are enforcing safe policies here. We just don't have kids just running around, because, like I say, guys, in order for you to be safe and us to be safe and your families to be safe and our families to be safe, we have to work together. And you guys, like I said, this is high school. You guys know what's at stake. So making sure that we follow the social distancing each and every opportunity that we have. Next slide. It goes without saying, you guys know that this is a uniform school. I know someone told me this morning they saw some stuff on Instagram or whatever about free dress. We're not doing free dress. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a dress code school. You see the colors of the shirts, royal blue, light blue, white, and black. Pants or shorts, either khaki or black. So, you know, we kind of gave you guys a leeway today because some of you guys didn't know and some of you guys were just misinformed. But going forward, we're a dress code school. Next door. Next one. All right. Also, going back to what we started last year with the IDs, once those IDs are given to you, those IDs officially become part of your dress code. You guys know that we check those IDs every day coming into the building. And in the event that you do not have one, after you receive your free one, you either pay $1 for a replacement, $1 for a temporary or $5 for a replacement. In terms of your dress code, your pants, gentlemen, with all due respect, we do not want to see your undergarments or your skin, my young ladies. So making sure that you're not sagging and doing all of that stuff. Jackets, permissible. However, you cannot have your hood on in the building. That's for safety purposes. Got to see who you are. Must have their uniform on visible at all times. We will also go back to what we started the previous years in terms of Friday, wearing jeans, no rips, of course, with spirit shirts or a college t-shirt. Next. Next one. All right, it's time.
All right, good morning. Once again, my name is Miss Moten, and I am the 9th grade administrator. This morning, I'm going to talk about discipline practices and procedures. As you know, your time here at WHHS High School is going to set the foundation of who you become. So with that, we take your learning, your experience here very, very seriously. So we put practices and procedures in place to ensure a safe and respectful learning environment. Next slide. So I'm going to go over some procedures of what students are expected to do and what you are expected not to do. All right. So students will attend all classes each day and be on time, dress according to our dress code, show respect towards your peers and all adults on campus, follow all rules and procedures for every teacher's classroom. So that's in the virtual space as well as the face-to-face space. Turn your cell phone off during instructional time unless approved by a teacher or administrator. And then your cell phone should not be visible at all during the school day. Next slide. Students will exercise self-control. So that means using courteous language, resolving conflict in a mature manner, be appropriately dressed and groomed, demonstrate a positive attitude, take on a leadership role, be polite, and be cooperative. A thing that we have going on this year, we talk about radical hospitality. You will hear that a lot this year. That's that Chick-fil-A mentality. When you go there and get a meal, you get a premier experience. Your order is right. They say thank you and my pleasure. Those are the practices that we want to exercise here at Hutch also. Next slide. Students will respect the rights and feelings of others, behave in a manner that does not disrupt others, take responsibility for school property. When you came in this morning, our building was immaculate. It was beautiful. Bulletin boards were hung up. Teachers were very excited for you to be here. So we expect for those bulletin boards in our property to still look this way when you leave this afternoon. So please respect the building, grounds, and property. Keep the campus free from trash and all graffiti. Students will support the learning process. You came to school today. You need to be a part of the learning process. A lot of y'all walked in, you didn't even have your stuff, your laptop. You need your laptop every single day, all right? So make sure that you attend all your classes regularly and on time. Be prepared for class, like I said before, with your laptop and any other essentials that you need for that class. Listen carefully to instructions, participate in class activities, and comply with directives given by school personnel. So that's administrators, that's teachers, that's the TAs, the monitors, the cafeteria workers, everybody. We will comply with those directives from adults. And this is what students will not do. All right, so pay close attention. You will not interfere with the teacher's ability to communicate effectively with students in class and virtually. Some of us has tried it in these chat rooms. These things are just, you can't do that. You can't be disrespectful to your peers or your teachers. Okay, so some of the teachers have not allowed you to use chat because some of us don't know how to act appropriately. You will not interfere with the ability of your classmates to learn. You will not cheat or copy work from another student. You will not bully or cyberbully other students. You will not use profanity, vulgar, or offensive language. You will not use obscene gestures towards other students. You will not leave school grounds. You will not throw objects that will cause bodily injury or property damage. You will not run anywhere, okay? I was speaking directly to the ninth graders last week because sometimes it's a bit of a transition coming from middle school, but you upperclassmen, you know what to do, be the example. You will not stop in the middle of the hallway to talk. We're supposed to be socially distanced anywhere, so walking in pairs, you don't need to be doing that. So talk and walk on the right side. We have no tolerance for misbehavior, you all. The time that we're living in is this is a different time, but we have to make sure that we adhere to these expectations so that everyone stays safe, all right? So if you cannot adhere to these expectations, you will be assigned to the virtual learning option. We're not gonna fight with you about this. You will be for the remainder of the 9-week cycle. And when the next cycle comes upon us, we will reevaluate your situation. But we are not dealing with any type of foolishness. So I'm going to briefly go over the lunch period expectations. So A lunch, the first and second A hall and the F hall have A lunch. A lunch is from 11:20 to 11:50. It's 30 minutes. And you immediately proceed to the cafeteria upon dismissal from class. B lunch is the first B hall and the right side of the second B hall. So you see the numbers listed there. Pay attention to that. Y'all have this information will be posted online so you can refer back to this. B lunch is from 12 o'clock to 12:30, 30 minutes. And then after lunch, you immediately return to second or sixth period class, all right, depending on what day it is. And then lastly, C lunch is the second B hall left side. So those room numbers that you see listed there, as well as the C hall, the G hall, and the gym. C lunch is from 12:40 to 1:10. And again, it's 30 minutes long. At the end of that lunch period, you immediately proceed to third or seventh period upon dismissal from the cafeteria. All right, lunch period expectations. Do not save seats for your friends. No loud talking, yelling, screaming, or other disruptions are strictly prohibited. Do not throw food or drinks. Do not trade food. Y'all, we are living in the COVID times. Do not trade food. Do not save spots in line, cut in line, or otherwise cheat or intimidate your way into the lunch line. If you got there late, that's on you. You can't say, partner, let me get right here. We're not doing that. Just stay in line. Do not leave the cafeteria until you have been dismissed by the adult staff member on duty. So we will let you know when it's time to go. Don't just get up and start leaving. Another thing to make sure that you have is your is your student ID. They're going to key that in, so make sure you know that or have that ready when you proceed to the lunch line. Follow the instructions of the cafeteria staff and show respect toward all cafeteria personnel. That's their radical hospitality piece. Immediately become silent when adult staff members make announcements in the cafeteria. Report spills to adults on lunch duty immediately, and follow the social distancing guidelines and procedures. Once again, let me reiterate, reemphasize, review. Inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated. If you choose, because it's a choice, if you decide not to adhere to these expectations, you will be assigned the virtual learning option for the remainder of the 9-week cycle. And upon the new cycle, we will reevaluate and have a conversation to make sure we have an understanding, or you will be reassigned to the virtual learning option. All right, that's it for me.
Good morning. Good morning. I am Ms. Smith, counselor here at Women Hutchins, and we also have on the line Mrs. Melton, who will be addressing you in just a moment, and Mrs. Price Coleman will be out of the building today, but we're looking forward to working with each of you. So we're going to do our introduction to the counseling program.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Is anyone else having this problem?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
It told us to join this. Oh shit. Oh, my bad.
Okay, how's that? Is that better? Can everyone hear me? Okay, again, we have Ms. Price who's going to be working with 10th grade students and 11th grade students who last begin with A through J. I am Ms. Smith. I work with all 9th graders, including Fine Arts Academy. And Mrs. Melton will work with 9th graders who are in the collegiate and all other grade levels in the E-Tech Academy. We have our next slide.
One second, Sister Smith.
Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm going to discuss with you briefly the graduation requirements. Of course, you all know by now that to graduate, you will need to accumulate credits. You need 26 credits total to graduate. However, by the end of your senior year, most of you will have more than 26 credits. But the distinction is that you must have 4 credits in English. If you have 26 credits, you don't have the 4th credit in English, you will not be able to graduate. So please keep that in mind as you are going through these next years toward graduation, that you'll need a total of 4 credits in all of the core subject areas, including English, math, science, and social studies. You will need a fine art credit, that is 2 credits in the same fine art, whether it be band, dance, art, choir. You will still need 2 credits in the same fine art. You will need 2 credits in Spanish because WHHS only offers Spanish. And you will need 2 semesters of PE, which equals 1 credit, and a 0.5 or half a credit in health. In addition, you will need to pass STAR EOC assessments in English, algebra, biology, and history. And then students will also have an endorsement. And we will go into more detail as far as endorsements at a later date. Next. Okay, your classification. Now, to be reclassified in your next grade level, starting out in the 9th grade, most of you have less than 4.5 credits. So to be classified as a sophomore, you will need at least 5 credits. And then again, to be classified as a junior, you will need at least 12 credits. And finally, your senior year, if you want to be classified as such, you will need at least 19 credits. Now, again, every year you can earn as many as 8 credits. So that at the end of your senior year, you could have potentially as many as 32 credits, but you have to have those credits in those designated core areas. Now, to get credits, you have to pass your classes. And other ways that you could not receive credit would be failing grades. Anything less than a 70, you will not earn a credit for that course. Attendance is a big deal. You have to be sure that you are in attendance, so that if you are not in attendance, you could risk the danger of losing credit for a class. Even if you have a passing grade in the class, you don't have the attendance, you will not receive credit. Suspensions, multiple suspensions, and assignment at the district alternative education program all put you at risk of not earning credit. Your whole deal in high school is to earn credit to move you to the next level. Next. Mrs. Melton will be speaking to you, I believe, next.
Good morning. So ways the counselors support students. We support students through counseling services by giving you academic support. So we monitor your graduation plans and we make sure that you're progressing through your graduation plans. We track your STAR testing requirements. We provide information about college and career possibilities. We assist with college and financial aid applications. So are required to go into your classrooms and provide you with topics that we talk about, important topics. Right now, we're doing the orientation. We also talk about anti-bullying, harassment, anti-victimization, teen dating violence awareness. We talk about suicide, higher education and career education. We talk about goal setting and course planning, and we also talk about wellness. We also do individual and group guidance. During those times, we help you to learn how to improve your attendance. We help you to improve your grade strategies, coping with stress or change, anger management, teen parenting. We also help you to learn study skills. So we're excited that we have a counseling virtual office, and we're hoping that you have already gone to the school's website to just explore our counseling virtual office. If you haven't, please go to the website. We have a lot of different pages on there, and we just want you to kind of click around and look at those pages. We have one page on there where you can click and get our contact information. We have another page on there where you can click around and get some calming activities and some mindfulness activities. Next page. Okay. And so thank you so much for listening, and just know that we're here for you.
Well,
Well, good morning, students. I'm Mr. Lane. I am the sophomore administrator. And this morning, I want to walk you through what Wednesdays look like here at the Hutch. And so Wednesday is our flex day. It is the day that no one is on campus unless you are in a special group or a small group here. Everybody will be virtual on Wednesday. Again, everybody will be virtual on Wednesday. And so you've had the opportunity to experience that here in the last week or so. And so with that virtual Wednesday, that flex day, you'll notice that the times are listed here on the left for you. And then of course, where you'll be on the right. And so from 9 to 10, you'll be in advisory. So you'll have an extra 15 minutes in advisory in that time. And then this day is used for tutoring. It is used for makeup. It is used for getting understanding, having an opportunity to pop in with your teachers and have some conversations, some one-on-ones, to get some one-on-one help. But what are listed here are the hours that your teachers will be available for tutoring sessions. So ELAR as well as JROTC will be available from 10 to 11. Math and PE is available from 11 to 12. You'll have lunch from 12 to 12:30. At 12:30 to 1:30, social studies and health will meet and be available. Now, your teachers may give you some alternate hours in terms of some alternate office hours, but know that your teachers will be available on Zoom for you for assistance in these hours. Again, science will be from 1:30 to 2:30, as well as Kate, as well as library helpers. Fine arts is from 2:30 to 3:30, and then we'll close out the day with Spanish from 3:30 to 4:20. So remember, on Wednesdays, that is our flex day. You get to stay at home and be virtual. Everyone is virtual on that particular day, and that day is used specifically for tutoring, specifically for you to get extra help, get extra assistance. So we look forward to this new year. We look forward to the change, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day and enjoy your first week back for those who are back.
Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're gonna ask everybody to stay on mute. Hopefully we may enable the chat at the end. Right now, we're gonna ask you to hold all questions. So let's talk about what does online expectations and requirements look like, especially Derek Helms, I need you to mute yourself. All right, let's take a look at what online expectations and requirements look like. Mr. Lane, okay, thank you. Next slide, please. So advisory, even though we are in a hybrid model, when we talk about advisory is going to be live every day. So that means that even on the days that you stay at home, you are expected to go into your advisory class. Lessons have been prepared, progress monitoring is going to take place. So it is a live lesson. Your teacher will be there. When you are on campus, the teacher has the option where she can actually show advisory through the big screen as some of you are watching right now. But when you're at home, you are expected to use your device, not your phone, to log into advisory. When you're logging in, there is an attendance form that has been posted on every teacher's Power School page, Power School Learning pages. You should log in every period and mark yourself present. Next slide, please. So let's talk about what does the class environment look like. For our core classes, which are English, Math, Science, and Social Studies, we are employing what's called a flipped classroom. So that means that your teachers are going to post videos online. It is your responsibility to watch those videos before you get to your class time, whether that's A day or B day. Before you get to your live lesson, you are expected to watch the videos. The reason why you have to watch the videos is that they're interactive. So it's going to be some times where you are practicing problems or you're reading something. You're doing some kind of task to prepare you for what the teacher is going to teach when they get in class. This is not like last year where we just gave grades. Grades matter. So you're gonna be graded on what you do when you're watching the video as well as when you are. So that is English, math, science, and social studies. When you're at home, view the lesson, complete the activities, and when you're at school, you will come in and you will jump right into the independent practice and the support. Our goal is that the students who have opted to be virtual will have the exact same school experience as those who have decided to come into the campus. Next slide, please. So when we talk about online environment, our preference is that you have your camera on, which helps you truly engage in the lesson. If you're able to use a virtual background, it must be an appropriate background. Make sure your learning environment is appropriate. We should not see you laying in beds or on the floor or anything like that. This is a virtual classroom. Therefore, you need to make sure that you have a virtual working space. You're either at a table, you're at a desk, you're somewhere where you can really concentrate and focus. Make sure that you have appropriate attire. That means that ladies should not have on bonnets and scarves. Gentlemen should have on shirts. We shouldn't see your chest. There should not be anything that's inappropriately written on your t-shirt. Think in terms of, if I cannot wear it to school, I cannot wear it on the virtual classroom. If these rules are broken or these policies are broken, your teacher will remove you from the virtual space. And we're asking teachers, do not put them back in until you've had a conference with them and or their parent. And so you must remain appropriate in speech, writing, attire, and your behavior. Next slide, please. So at this time, we're going to stay on mute. I think we can probably take about the next maybe 5 minutes. Mr. Lane, are we able to enable chat from this session?
Yes, we are. Give me 1 second.
If anything inappropriate pops up in the chat, Mr. Lane, end the meeting immediately. So if you have questions about anything that was said or any questions, we want you to put your questions in the chat now.
All right, chat's feature should be enabled.
It is.
The first question, Ms. Berry, has to do with uniform policy.
So our uniform policy is, and I believe Mr. Jordan went over this earlier, when you are on campus, you will wear polos with a collar. So that means it is a royal blue polo, light blue polo, white polo, black polo. Your bottom will be khakis and black. Regular uniform, same as last year. No rips, no holes. The senior sponsor, we actually have a senior committee this year. And so we will get the seniors more information about that probably by the end of the week. Classes will not start earlier. We will follow the exact same bell schedule, which is 9. We begin class advisory at 9 o'clock. On Wednesday, when we talk about a flex day, so let me be real clear. Flex days mean that you will go to every single class. You're gonna follow Power School. So on that Power School day, you log in and you go and you click. Ms. Bailey, Dr. Bailey, keep those questions starting to scroll in. So just, you're gonna go, I'm gonna turn it over to you after this. On Flex, you go into your periods and you mark yourself present. There will not be any live lessons. However, your teacher may have posted some lessons. So I'm gonna teach you 2 quick words right quick: synchronous, asynchronous. Synchronous means just like you sync your phone, you're putting things together. So on the synchronous days, those are the days that you are going to meet with your teachers. Asynchronous, A meaning not, so that means you will not meet with your teacher. So on Wednesday, unless your teacher has requested, you will have an asynchronous day. Your lessons are posted online. You can work on anybody's lesson. unless you have made an appointment with your teacher. You may be a student, let's take you struggle with English, and you say, I really can't do this English at home by myself. I need to make an appointment with Miss Brooks, and I need to come to school. Miss Brooks can say yes, she'll bring a small group up for social, and you will be social distanced, and then you will do your work then. E-Tech students, English 1301, you are required to come. Matter of fact, all of E-Tech, we were gonna put out a schedule for you, and Fine Arts as well. All right, Miss Bailey, what's next?
Next question is, who do we go to about driving to school?
Well, if you are driving to school, you come to campus and you check with Officer Mack. I believe Officer Mack is the one that gives out the parking permits. You are not allowed to drive a car to campus and park it here unless you have a driver's license and insurance and a permit. Please don't have us tow your car because you come park it without a permit. All students park in the student parking lot. Dr. Bailey?
Yes, is the schedule for the virtual kids the same as the schedule for the kids at school? And how do the virtual kids know when to go to lunch break?
So now that everyone is back on school, yes, the virtual schedule is the hybrid schedule. It is the same. So you look online and you look at what your alphabet is. The top half of the alphabet for each grade level comes Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is a flex day for everyone. The bottom half of the alphabet for each grade level comes Thursday and Friday. Your second period teacher is the one that tells you when you go to lunch. And I believe it's actually on the website if you look for master schedule. Next question.
Will there be an actual day where all students must return to school?
At this time, we don't know that yet. We take our directives from Mr. Hinojosa, our superintendent, Dr. Hinojosa, our superintendent, and he is in contact with the CDC, with TEA. So until we receive further directions from him, we're going to continue to follow our hybrid plan.
Okay, and that was the next question is, are we following a hybrid schedule? The next question is, where do we go from here, go after here? And so I'm assuming they're asking after advisory this morning.
So if you go to your first period class once we release.
Student driver wants to know, are they safe today as far as driving, and do they need insurance?
You are safe today. Mr. Jordan, are you on the line still? But you will need insurance. Yes, you must have insurance and you must have a driver's license. Today you are safe.
Class material, do we only need computers, or do we need computers, paper, and pencil once we are present in school?
So let me say this to everybody that comes on campus: you need a laptop, you need some type of device. We are what's called a paperless campus. Paperless campus. That means your teachers don't run off copies. Now, it's always a good practice to bring paper and pencil because some people do better note taking with paper and pencil, but we will not be providing it, and it's for safety reasons. We cannot have you sharing paper, sharing pencils. So it's a good idea to put some in your backpack. However, when you come on campus, a laptop is required. Please do not come on campus without a device, a charged device. Dr. Bailey?
And looks like the last one is, if I have an appointment and it starts in the morning, who do I ask? Do I ask the teacher, or who do I ask?
So I'm assuming you're talking about the flex day. If you need to make an appointment with a specific teacher, that you make it with that teacher. So whatever class you may be struggling in, or whatever class you want assistance, or you want to meet with the teacher, you make that appointment with the teacher, asking them, can you come to the campus? And we'll put a system in place so that we will know on Wednesday morning which students to expect and how many. Our goal is to keep you as safe as possible. Therefore, we are still operating under the 50% capacity. So it is extremely important that you make, we can't show up on a Wednesday and have 400 kids here. Okay.
My computer is broken and some lessons are hard to get to on my phone. Who do I talk to about that?
Okay, you actually need to come to the school. Okay, go ahead on, Mr. Lane.
I'm sorry, Ms. Berry, I just sent her a response. And this is for all students. All students, if you have an issue with your laptop, particularly a physical issue, like it's actually physically broken, you'll need to contact IT as well as set up an appointment to try to have it exchanged at one of the exchange locations. I do know that currently right now, one of the exchange locations is Madison High School. But again, if you have an issue with computers in terms of physical issue, it's broken, it's not turning on, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that you contact IT and set up an appointment to have it looked at one of the exchange locations. We currently don't have any more laptops or Chromebooks, so it's very important that you bring your Chromebook because all Chromebooks have been distributed to DISD students.
And I just put the number to the IT department in the chat box. No, ma'am, if you bought a new charger and it's working, keep that. We're putting extra chargers on campus.
Where can I find the school bus transportation schedule?
Transportation schedule is on the front of the website. Okay, Alex, I see your question up at the top. It says about hybrid. Hybrid is what we're doing right now. So give me a new word. Hybrid means the combination of two. So we're doing face-to-face and virtual. For the students who are virtual, your hybrid is because some of your people are here on campus and some are at home. However, when you log in, you're going to get live lessons. So some people have opted to have to remain 100% virtual, and that is okay. However, you must log in for your live lessons on your assigned day, and then you must complete the lessons. So I put the number. If you have a problem with the disk on the computer, I'm putting the number back in the chat. This is who you need to call. This is DISD's IT department, and they can help you do what you need to do.
Two more questions. Do we still do Zoom classes for all classes if we're doing virtual learning or just for advisory? And somebody keep asking about clarifying the dress code.
Okay, so let me do this right quick. What was the first question, Dr. Bailey? Oh, about Zoom lessons. Okay. Yes, so listen up. Every teacher has a Zoom link on their Power School pages or has some kind of way that you log in on your live day to see the teacher teach the lesson, or maybe a pre-recorded lesson in the case of a flipped classroom. So in that case, when you log into your teacher's Power School pages, you're either going to be live if your name is at the top of the alphabet, or you're going to look at a recorded lesson, or you're going to, it's at the bottom of the alphabet, it'll be Thursday and Friday. All right, dress code. I'm not sure where it says that we have free dress. We're going to scour with the website because I hadn't seen it on the website. There is no such thing as free dress on Wilma Hutchins campus unless Mr. Campbell says so. Now, let me say this, going forward, if you show up at Wilma Hutchins campus and you're out of dress code, we're going back to what we did last year. We starting out the way we finished, where we want to finish. You will be turned around. Our dress code, once again, royal blue polo, light blue polo, white polo, black polo, black or khaki bottoms, no joggers, no sweatpants.
If I came to school the first day and then wanted to stay home and do home learning the next day, can I do that?
Okay, so listen well. If you come to school, you can opt out and go virtually. However, if you chose to be 100% virtually, you cannot opt in until the end of the 9 weeks. We have to continue to operate at 50% capacity. So what that means is, I'm gonna say it again. You did the survey. You said, I want to stay at home. You must stay at home until the end of the 9 weeks. At the end of the 9 weeks, I'm assuming we're gonna send out another survey. If you decide you want to come, at that point, you choose that I want to come to campus, and you can come then. Here's the why. Grades. The grading system, we have to ensure that we have the grading system correct. It has a lot to do with the background things. Okay, I'm seeing this question about the disc is full. Here again, I'm gonna answer this one more time. And it's just, that's it. That's all I can tell you. So unless there's something you click for disk and you delete, call that number. That is the computer number. Those people will help you.
Group A and Group B, there's a lot of confusion. Could you please explain the alpha that's supposed to come on Group A and then on Group B?
All right, I sure will. Mr. Lane, if you will, go to the website. If you will share that screen, I'm going to do a full explanation so that we can be really clear. And everybody, just for the sake that we're not counting you absent from first period, we are doing extended advisory, and the teachers do know that. So you're not being, okay, Ms. Askey says that if you are having disk issues, try purchasing a USB or an external drive. All right, so let's look right here. This is Group A. If you are in the 9th grade and your last name ends with A or it's Juarez, you come to school on Monday and Tuesday. These are for the people who opted to come to school. If you are in the 10th grade and your last name begins with A or Lopez, come to school on Monday and Tuesday. 11th grade, if your last name is A to Jones, come to school Monday and Tuesday. 12th grade, A to Lane, come to school Monday and Tuesday. These, not yet, Mr. Lane, keep that. These are for the students who opted to come to on-campus learning. On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you will log into your teacher's classrooms, take attendance, and do the lessons that are provided online. That is Group A. Next slide, please. Scroll up. Group B, it works the same way, except for now it is opposite. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for Group B, you are at home doing, remember our word, asynchronous learning. You are logging in, checking your attendance, and then you are doing the lessons that are online. And then Thursday and Friday, your last name, if you're in the 9th grade, or your last name begins with a K, ends with a Y, or begins with a K through Y, you come to school Thursday and Friday. 10th grade, if your last name is Lopez V, so let me give an example. That if your last name is Lopez Villarreal, you're not in the A day, you're in B day, because we have a lot of Lopez's. So Lopez Villarreal, all the way to Z comes B day. 11th grade, R through Y, you're in the B group. In 12th grade, LI through Z, you're in the B group. Notice how small the numbers are. That's what helps us stay at 50% capacity. I hope that clears everything up. This is on the website. Okay, Dr. Bailey?
Last question that I see is, what if we put that we were returning to school but didn't show up today?
Okay, so remember, here's what we said. If you said you were coming to school, you have the option to opt out to virtual learning. The reason is because it keeps the school under 50% capacity of students. However, you cannot be at home and decide I'm coming to school now, because that we don't know how many kids that would be. And it might put us at a safety risk. Now, at the end of the 9 weeks, you can change your mind.
Are we allowed to wear sleeves under our uniform shirts?
Yes, as long as we can have a visible polo with a collar, yes. Now, if you go to Levine's, I believe they actually have long sleeve polos if you like them. Any other questions? I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to ask these last questions.
Don't look like there is anything else left. I did ask if anyone had any more questions.
All right, so at this time, we're gonna transition everyone to, if you are at school, we want you to wait for the announcement. We want everybody else to go ahead on and transition to first period. Thank you. If you'll go ahead on and end the meeting for everyone.